Hello everyone. Got a bit of a bonkers game for you. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a pretty good game. We're going to speed this up a little bit, because nothing really happens in the beginning. So this is Nevsky, an infamous cruiser known for its 1,000 meter per second initial velocity railguns. It has torpedoes, hydro, radar, heel, and its big Achilles heel is the depth charges, as well as its lighter armor, but realistically that's not a big deal because you're so thin and you have decent acceleration that you can kite from range, and it's not really a big deal. So here I'm just kiting from range, as I said. We're getting kited out before we're really shooting because we don't want to eat citadels. This thing can still eat citadels. And for now we're just going to farm this breast. Nothing really crazy. You can see the absolutely bonkers shell velocity. You can hit anything from any range if you have half a brain. It's really kind of nuts. Like 4K salvos on a breast because you get 30mm base pen. There's no real reason to run IFHE. I mean, yeah, you pen battleships everywhere, but like, what's the point? Just set fires forehead. So, we're just getting our farm on. You see that Balau over there? We cannot do anything about because we have depth charges that launch from, I think it's the back of our ship, or they could be shot out front. I'm really not sure. But so that's really where Nevsky struggles is subs. Everything else it's pretty good against. It's got decent AA, 6.9 range, decent flak. I think it's like 6 or 8 flak or whatever. That's really the only thing that it struggles with: submarines and overmatch. Given that it's like 30 or 32 everywhere, or 27 even, not really sure. We can go over the armor scheme import though. Here we're just farming the DM from range again. Nothing special. Getting a little bit of chip damage here and there. Here we're gonna have to dodge some submarine torps. It's a little bit difficult unless you're moving in a perfect zigzag, because submarines home a little bit closer to cruisers and a lot closer to destroyers. So like if I were a battleship, they would stop homing a lot sooner. I think it's a 2-kilometer cutoff. But in Nevsky, for example, you get like a 1-kilometer cutoff or a 1.5-kilometer cutoff, and like destroyers it's even less. So the thinking there is the more maneuverable the ship, the less time you have to be able to get out of that. That's like their balancing factor. So like as you can see, those torps are going straight. They weren't homed at the very end because he didn't ping me enough. But you'll see in a little bit that the submarine torps home very, very close to my ship. And you'll see what happens there. We're asking our sub to get those buffs, but he's going to surface, abiding our request, and just get nuked for it. So it's not really on us, but you know, it happens. Submarine players being what they are. Since the incomparable is pushing, it sounds kind of strange, but we're also going to push. We're actually down 4 ships at the moment, 4-1. The incomparable is pushing for the buff. We have the concealment to be able to get in a little bit closer and then kite it out. So that's what we're going to try to do here. The Tone is going around the island. The DM is in Narnia. The Bress is really low. So we don't have many threats to us except for the incomparable, which is here. He's not aiming at us. So we're just going to start farming him. He's showing broadside. Nevsky has pretty solid AP. Although it's a light cruiser, it can still slap. It's like 2.5k damage, only 1 pen too, so the AP alpha is decent. You're gonna need a pretty good broadside, and the if I didn't mention already, the pen is pretty good too. You can citadel cruisers from pretty much any range if they're giving enough broadside. So incomparable still pushing through here. We're just gonna speed this up because nothing really happens. He pushes out, then kites out. There's nothing really to shoot. Get a nice little fire there. Keep shooting the incomparable. Then we're hoping for this Tone to pop up, which he actually does. And we're going to use our AP because he's giving us basically flat broadside. Ask some people to shoot at him because he's an easy kill. He's really pushing in. He really shouldn't be. Nice 3k there. Almost 4. We're going to see the power of Nevsky AP in a moment. If not this salvo, yep, there it is. 3 citadels, 14k. At 13 kilometers. Like, a DM could probably do that. a Wooster probably couldn't, which is also a light cruiser. So that's what's nice about this shell velocity, is you're not arcing like into the deck, for example. Here we're gonna see just how close these sub-torps home tilt. Keep homing, and they only stop when I damage con. So that's gotta be like 1 kilometer, basically. Yeah, but they basically stop homing at 1 kilometer, which is really quite annoying. So we take some damage from that. We need some pain. We're gonna speed this up a little bit. Nothing really happens. We're trying to ping the Below to get some sight on him, but he's not popping up. We're gonna try to radar him as our Hydra just went down. Just kind of a Hail Mary radar. Not that we're in much danger, but if he were to surface, then maybe our Mossfa could get some depth charges on him. But he doesn't surface. Speed this up a little bit. He shoots some more torps at us. He didn't actually see where we were going. He knew the approximate area, but he couldn't actually see us, so he couldn't ping us and get the homing to work. Our Yamato dies, not ideal. We lose our battleship firepower over here. There's the Below. He's going to try to shotgun our Mossfa with mixed results. He doesn't really get a ton of damage off on him. And our Mossfa, I believe, kills the Below. If not right now, in a moment. I think he shot some depth charges out, or the Below surfaces again. Whatever. So we just start farming the Incomparable again. He's not looking at us, he's looking at the Mossfa. There's the sub again. Unfortunately, we can't help our Mossfa anymore. I think the Mossfa should have depth charges up shortly. Ah, there he is. He got him. Incomparable making a pretty big mistake not shooting at us. We are on his broadside. He could really knock our teeth in a little bit, but he's not. So we'll take it. Free damage is free damage. You can see the strength of that Nevsky AP. A nice 3.7k salvo, 4k salvo. Like, when you get broadside, this thing does slap, and with these like 5-second reloading guns, they're pretty good. Plus you're penning a lot of superstructure and side plating instead of just a superstructure like a Wooster would be doing. So you can actually get that unsaturated AP damage on the main part of the ship. He does kill our Mossfa, but he's getting pretty low, so it's not a big concern for us. I don't believe he has a heal ready at the moment, so we should be able to take him down pretty easily. Already up to 122k. And boy, does it only go up from here. So, Incomparable dies here, and everyone else is all the way over there. So, we're just gonna go cap. There's no one really stopping us. Everyone's in the southeast corner, so we basically killed this flank, not by ourselves, but we certainly just walked down the flank. Get a couple of shots on Louisiana, nothing crazy. We're just gonna speed this up a little bit, get into the cap. How many times can Gagoza say nothing crazy in one video? Nevsky showing broadside to another Nevsky. Get a couple of hits there. Oh, that salvo looks pretty good. And bam, 3 Citadels. So we're up to 154k. Pretty solid game in and of its own right. I would be happy if this was just how I finished, but we still got 4 ships left, and they're all pretty healthy. Let's see if we can see that if I look over. Yeah, we got a 50k Mossfa, 30k Palmer, and he probably has a heal or 2 in the tank. There's like a full HP Louisiana, so we can certainly get our farm on if they come back to the cap, which they eventually will have to. We will just win on points if they don't. Speeding this up a little bit. No one's really spotted for a while. We just have a 3v4, a Seattle, pretty low Seattle, and a pretty low Mossfa. I think he's like half or something. So we're going to see some Nevsky on Nevsky violence. And this guy actually makes a pretty big misplay, which is A, continuing to push, and B, he just keeps shooting AP. Generally the idea is angled targets shoot AG, full broadside shoot AP. And since I'm an angled target, you would think that you should shoot AG, but he just sticks to his guns. Gotta respect the man. He's really going for those Citadels, I guess. So he's basically a free kill. He was already pretty low. He's getting crossfired by our Mossfa. We're up to 189. Next we got a Louisiana to deal with. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, because unless he's showing us full broadside, he doesn't have all of his 10 guns, as he has a quad turret in the back. They are Montana guns, so they do hurt. He can slot accuracy mod as well, making him just about as accurate as a Montana, so we do need to be careful of that. We're going to use our rudder to dodge. He activates some of his planes, which isn't the biggest deal, excuse me, but it does force us out of the cap, as we don't want to eat 15k and 2 fires. You can see Nevsky AA doing a little bit of damage, but again, they're midway planes, so they're not gonna die that easily. He mostly misses, only gets 7k, only 7k. Looks like it's a 2v3 at the moment. Our Moskva is dealing with another Moskva and a Pommer. So there's some of the weaknesses of the Nevsky. It's kind of made out of paper. It is hard to hit, but if you do hit it, it does kind of suck. We got our reload down to 3.4, so we're just melting this Louisiana. His tumor does not saturate, so that's what we're really going for at the moment. Fortunately, you don't need a Citadel there, but another 7.8k damage. As you can see, we're getting a lot of damage off of this guy, 230 already, Confederate and high caliber. And he's healing, which is really good for our damage at least. As you can see, we're aiming right for that little section. Let's see, can I get my cursor up? No, that's just cinematic mode. So we're aiming for that section between his turrets and his superstructure mast on the right side of the ship. That's his tumor, aka the flight hangar, and that doesn't saturate ever. Just like Kearsarge, it doesn't saturate, so you can just farm full damage off of it. Like, when I say saturate, I mean like a nose can saturate, an ass can saturate. The center of your ship, like your superstructure, can saturate, but that flight hangar doesn't count as superstructure. It's actually just main armor, so you can just get full damage on that. We're gonna see what we can do to this Moskva. He is giving our Moskva some side, so he eats some pain there. We get a nice little fire, up to 10 fires. And since he's shooting AP at him, he's gonna need to angle to us, or angle to our Moskva. So we can just shoot AP right back. This is why I run gun feeder. You just get that swap very quickly, and this should be a free kill. We're in a 1v2, but it actually looks pretty good. They have quite a few buffs. If I were in the Pommern secondary range right now, it would probably be a quick loss, but he's very far away at the moment, and we have a free cap. Speed this up a little bit. It's going to take him years to get into cap, so we have plenty of time to pick up a buff, get kited out, and get ready to take this engagement in the most favorable way. There, he's spotted. So we're actually going to leave the cap, and we're just going to go for the ship health buff, because I don't feel like losing this right now. Even though we have points, and we could just straight up run. I'm pretty close to the funny number, 300k damage. It's a pretty good metric of did you have a really good game or not, 300k. It's fairly rare for me to get a 300k game. I think my damage record was in Thunderer with like 379, so like 20k off of 4. Could have been pretty good, but that was when I basically first got Thunderer and it was really busted. So we're at bet 285 now. We just have dreams of 300, hope and prage. There's really nothing this Pommern can do. We're faster than him, we have probably more range than him, and he really is just going to suffer. We have 1 minute left. It looks like 300k is in the bag. We get that second fire, and it most certainly is. So we finally hit it, 300k in Nevsky after 80 something games or 100 games or whatever. We're going to hit our radar so we can get a little bit more damage on him. He is not quite in it yet, but he will be shortly if he tries to get into the cap, because that's really the only way he's going to win, is getting into the cap, freezing the points, and killing us. Well, not that the points really matter, it's my life that matters, because he only has 30 seconds, and we're already at 700. So he will come into our firing range. We just quite don't have the arcs. There they go. We got 15 seconds to farm this guy down. We only have 8 seconds of radar, unfortunately. I could have saved that until he was fully in range, but he's just going to try to angle and alleviate some of the damage. He's blind firing us. Not a bad idea. But we end this game with a nice 320,000 damage. 561 shell hits, 12 fires, 7 citadels, a few plane kills, and 4 kills. So that's probably my best Nevsky game I've ever had, and very well may ever have. Here's the team score. We got a nice 3.3k base XP. We can see some of the damage we did. 82k on Incomparable, 63 on Louisiana, 54 to the Nevsky, 53 to the Pommern. It's pretty solid. So thank you guys so much for watching, and let me see if I can get into the port real quick. Here we're back in the port with my Nevsky. This is the build I was running for that game. We can get into the equipment tab. I am running surveillance radar mod, prop mod, concealment, and reload. The rest is pretty standard. I was only running one det flag, so it could actually have been a lot more damage. I was just farming my snowflakes and got this insane game. Here's the build I'm running on my Nevsky. I do run last stand, as Nevsky's engine can get knocked fairly easily, as well as its steering gears. Gun feeder for that faster shell switch. Consumables enhancement, get that longer radar. AR, SI for more radars, more heals, more hydro. Concealment, because you do get a pretty competitive concealment of 12.8. Survivability expert, and top grade gunner. Usually you're shooting outside of your, concealment range, but if you do catch a DD, this is a very nice 8% boost. You could run outnumbered, you could run PT, you could run IFA, but I'm not really a big fan of PT and IFA. Well, I'm more of a fan of IFA, but I think last stand is just so much more important. And what are you realistically going to sacrifice? Like survivability expert, top grade? Like, what are you going to sacrifice? An ideal Nevsky build would probably be one with a lot more flags. I'd probably run something like that. You could theoretically get rid of the fire flags for a flooding and AA flag. Fire flags do help your fire chance get up there quite high. It's 15%. And you can see that bonkers 1,000 meters per second initial velocity. I don't believe I have any cool camos for Nevsky, just the default one, which is nice. It has an alternate paint scheme, and I like to run Russian flags on my Russian ships, American flags on my American ships, etc. So that was my Nevsky video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I'm a Wargaming affiliate, so if you click those links in my description and actually follow through, they do support the channel and they support Wargaming. Happy holidays. I hope you all have a good one, and GG's. Peace.